welcome back to our channel. A single dime, a forgotten relic, holds the key to a treasure long lost in time. The 1977 USA 1-dime coin might seem like just another piece of currency in the vast sea of coins produced throughout American history. But when you take a closer look, you'll realize that this particular dime holds a story worth telling, one that blends the art of numismatics with fascinating history and a dash of mystery. So grab a seat, and let's journey through the story of the 1977 dime, its significance, design, and, of course, the stunning value it holds today. First, let's rewind the clock to 1977. The world was changing at a rapid pace. The United States was in the midst of a transitional period, having just moved away from the chaos of the 1960s and 1970s. The country was seeing the rise of a new political era with Jimmy Carter taking office as president. It was also a time of cultural shifts, as disco music was in full swing, Star Wars premiered, and the world was beginning to embrace a more globalized economy. In terms of currency, the U.S. Mint was actively producing coins to meet the demands of a growing economy. The 1-dime coin, as part of the Roosevelt dime series, had been in circulation since 1946. The coin was created in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, following his death in 1945. At the time, Roosevelt was highly regarded for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. His likeness, designed by John R. Sinek, adorned the front of the coin. This design remains on the dime to this day. The 1977 dime, just like the dimes before it, was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, as well as the Denver Mint, with the familiar D mint mark seen on those minted in Denver. The coin had a smooth edge, weighed 2.27 grams, and was composed of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, making it a durable yet lightweight piece of currency. With a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, it was compact enough to fit neatly into your pocket or purse. When we examine the design itself, it's important to note that the obverse side of the coin features Roosevelt's portrait facing left, a dignified and familiar image that has become symbolic of his legacy. On the reverse side, the coin shows a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, representing liberty, peace, and strength, values that were central to Roosevelt's vision for America. The torch stands for freedom, the olive branch symbolizes peace, and the oak branch signifies strength. These elements are cleverly integrated into the design, reflecting Roosevelt's enduring influence and the values he championed. But what makes the 1977 dime so significant to collectors? Well, on the surface, it may seem like just another routine coin in the circulation of its time. However, as with any piece of currency, the story doesn't always end with just its initial minting. Over time, coins accumulate histories, whether they are passed down through generations, caught up in the tides of economic changes, or simply forgotten in drawers. It's in these overlooked moments where a coin's value often begins to rise. The 1977 dime is one of those examples where seemingly ordinary coins can become quite extraordinary. You see, one of the most interesting things about dimes from the late 1970s is that some of them were struck with unique characteristics, such as errors in the minting process. This can happen during the production phase when a coin is struck by the dies. If something goes wrong, you might get a coin with a flaw, an anomaly that makes it stand out from the rest. Now, let's talk about errors. They are one of the main reasons that collectors and numismatists get excited about certain coins. When it comes to the 1977 dime, one of the most notable errors that can be found is a double die variety, where the die used to strike the coin was misaligned during the minting process. This results in a slight doubling effect on some of the design elements, like the date or lettering. While this may sound like a small flaw, it's precisely these imperfections that can make a coin incredibly valuable. Collecting coins with errors is a passion for many numismatists because these flaws are relatively rare, and the coins that possess them often carry a higher value than their error-free counterparts. For the 1977 dime, a coin with a double die or other error could fetch a premium price, as collectors are always looking to add these special varieties to their collections. But the allure of the 1977 dime doesn't end with errors. Even regular, well-preserved dimes from this year can draw interest from collectors. This is due, in part, to the continued demand for coins from the 20th century, as they represent a key period in American history. Coins like the 1977 dime hold nostalgic value for those who remember that era, while also offering insight into the design and minting practices of the time. Now, let's talk about the value. A regular 1977 dime in circulation today is, of course, worth just 10 cents. But for a well-preserved coin, one that has been carefully stored and maintained, its value can rise significantly. As a matter of fact, certain 1977 dimes in pristine condition or with rare errors can be worth much more than their face value, climbing into the hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. But, hold on, here's the big reveal. One particular 1977 dime, a specimen with a rare error, was recently valued at a staggering $130,000. Yes, you heard that right. This dime, which was initially just a piece of currency like any other, now carries a value that far exceeds its original purpose. It's the perfect example of how a simple coin can appreciate in value over time, especially when it's tied to a significant historical moment or features a rare minting error. It's important to note that not every 1977 dime is worth this kind of money. For a coin to reach this kind of value, it must possess exceptional qualities, whether it's a rare error or an extraordinarily high grade in terms of condition. In the world of coin collecting, condition plays a major role in determining a coin's worth. Coins that have been well preserved, often referred to as being in mint state or uncirculated condition, are highly sought after by collectors, as they offer a glimpse into history that hasn't been worn down by time. The 1977 dime is a prime example of how a simple piece of currency, once thought to be commonplace, can become a treasure in the eyes of collectors. Its history, design, and occasional minting errors give it a uniqueness that extends far beyond its face value. In the world of numismatics, it serves as a reminder that even the most ordinary objects can hold extraordinary value when viewed through the right lens. And there you have it, the story of the 1977 USA 1 dime coin, a coin that started as a mere dime but, through the passage of time and a touch of luck, can now command a price tag that's nothing short of remarkable. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone with a passing interest in coins, the journey of the 1977 dime proves that sometimes, it's the smallest things that can have the biggest impact. The 1981 dime might appear as just another in a long line of coins minted for circulation, but for the collectors, historians, and enthusiasts who have come to appreciate its unique qualities, it's much more than that. There's a story behind the 1981 dime that ties into the fabric of American history, the intricacies of minting processes, and the lasting legacy of its design. Join me as we unravel the fascinating history of the 1981 dime, explore its design, minting process, and discover how this seemingly ordinary coin has become an extraordinary collectible. And, as we wrap up, I'll reveal the jaw-dropping value of one such dime today. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for the big reveal. To truly understand the significance of the 1981 dime, we need to begin with a bit of historical context. By 1981, the United States was in the midst of some profound economic changes. The country was transitioning from the Carter administration into the Reagan era, and this shift brought new policies and challenges. Inflation was a major concern, and the country was also witnessing a surge in interest rates as part of the effort to curb inflation. It was a time of both economic recovery and uncertainty. But while the country was facing various challenges, life went on, and the United States Mint continued to produce coins to facilitate the everyday transactions of its citizens. One of the most iconic coins in this period was the dime, specifically the Roosevelt dime. This dime had been in circulation since 1946, created in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his death in 1945. The decision to honor Roosevelt was a fitting tribute to a man who had led the country through the Great Depression and World War II. His legacy as a leader and humanitarian was cemented with this coin's design, which remains unchanged to this day. The design of the Roosevelt dime was the work of engraver John R. Sinnock, who based his depiction of Roosevelt on a portrait made from a photograph. Roosevelt's profile is featured on the obverse of the coin, facing left. To this day, his image is one of the most recognized and revered in American numismatics. On the reverse side, the dime features a design that symbolizes liberty, peace, and strength, a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. This design was meant to represent the core values that Roosevelt stood for during his presidency. The torch symbolizes freedom, the olive branch peace, and the oak branch strength. When we focus on the 1981 dime specifically, the coin's physical characteristics were pretty much standard for the era. Like other dimes of its time, the 1981 coin weighed in at 2.27 grams and had a diameter of 17.91 millimeters. It was composed of a copper-nickel clad, with 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, a composition that had been in use since 1965, when the mint switched to this alloy in response to the rising cost of silver. The 1981 dime, like many others, was minted at both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Coins minted in Philadelphia did not bear a mint mark, while those produced in Denver were marked with the familiar D. But what really makes the 1981 dime stand out to collectors, and what gives it its unique place in history, is not necessarily the general design or composition. Rather, it's the fact that, in 1981, the United States Mint was still in the process of refining its minting methods. Errors, whether due to mishandling of the dies or mechanical malfunctions, were not uncommon during this period, and it's these kinds of errors that would set certain coins apart from others. Over time, some of the 1981 dimes became known for certain varieties and rarities that would appeal to collectors, which is where the true intrigue of this coin lies. A key element that collectors look for in any coin is rarity. This could come in the form of limited mintage, unique errors, or certain features that make a coin stand out from the general population of coins produced. When it comes to the 1981 dime, there were a few important varieties that piqued collectors' interests. For example, one of the most sought-after versions of this dime is the 1981 proof dime, which was specially minted for collectors rather than for circulation. These proof coins were struck using a different process than regular circulating coins, which resulted in coins with a high-quality, mirror-like finish. These coins were also carefully handled to avoid any imperfections or flaws. In addition to proof coins, some 1981 dimes were struck with minor errors or anomalies that made them more valuable to collectors. One example of an error coin that has become popular among numismatists is the 1981 double die variety. In this case, a misalignment during the die striking process caused certain parts of the coin's design to appear doubled. These double die errors could occur in a variety of ways, perhaps with the date, or with Roosevelt's profile, or even with the lettering surrounding the coin. While these errors might seem like small mistakes, in the world of numismatics, they are treasures, because such flaws are extremely rare and highly desirable. For most of the 1981 dimes, however, the real value comes from their condition. As with any coin, the higher the grade, meaning how well preserved the coin is, the more valuable it becomes. Coins that have been well maintained, that show little to no wear or signs of aging, are known as uncirculated or mint state coins. These are highly prized by collectors, and the 1981 dime is no exception. A coin that's in pristine condition can often command a premium price, far exceeding its original face value of just 10 cents. When it comes to the collector appeal of the 1981 dime, it's important to recognize that it stands as a reflection of the time in which it was produced. The 1981 dime is part of the larger Roosevelt dime series, which remains one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. While the design may not have changed over the decades, its historical significance has only grown, especially as collectors look back at the coins that were minted during particular periods of American history. This coin, like so many others, provides a snapshot of the era, both in terms of the design, the minting process, and the political and social climate. For those who collect coins as a way of preserving history, the 1981 dime is a key part of that larger story. Now, let's get to the most exciting part, the value. The 1981 dime might seem like a humble coin to the untrained eye, but there are certain varieties and conditions that can push its value into the thousands of dollars. So, how much can a 1981 dime be worth today? In its typical circulated condition, the 1981 dime is worth only its face value of 10 cents. However, for a well-preserved coin, one that has been carefully maintained and is in mint state, the value can rise significantly. And for those rare specimens that feature certain error varieties, like the double die or a high-quality proof coin, the value can climb even higher. But perhaps the most remarkable story involves a particular 1981 dime, a coin that, through its rarity and immaculate condition, fetched an eye-watering $118,000. Yes, you read that correctly. This one dime, which began its life as a simple piece of currency, now holds a value that far exceeds its original intent. This extraordinary amount reflects the coin's rarity, its exceptional condition, and its significance to collectors who understand the importance of owning such a unique specimen. And that's the magic of coin collecting, the idea that something as seemingly ordinary as a dime can become an invaluable piece of history. So there you have it, the story of the 1981 USA 1 dime. A coin that reflects the times, the artistry of its design, and the fascinating world of numismatics. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious viewer, the 1981 dime proves that sometimes, the most overlooked items can carry the greatest value. The 1998 USA 1 dime coin might seem, at first glance, like just another piece of currency from the late 20th century, yet for those in the world of numismatics, it's a coin with an intriguing backstory, a fascinating design, and a remarkable place in the world of coin collecting. If you're curious about how this seemingly humble dime has managed to capture the attention of collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts alike, you're in for quite the journey. In this video, we'll dive deep into the historical context of the 1998 dime, explore its design, look at how it was minted, and, of course, examine what makes it so sought after by collectors. And stick around, because we'll also reveal the jaw-dropping value of one of these dimes in today's market. You won't believe how much this little coin is worth. Let's begin by taking a step back and setting the scene in 1998. It was a year of great change and excitement around the globe. In the United States, the country was experiencing economic prosperity, with the economy enjoying a period of strong growth. The tech boom was in full swing, and the internet was rapidly changing the way people interacted, shopped, and even thought about money. Politically, President Bill Clinton was serving his second term in office, and the country was also dealing with some high-profile controversies in the news. However, for most Americans, life in 1998 was largely defined by the everyday experiences of the 90s, going to the movies to see Titanic, listening to the latest hits on the radio, and using dial-up internet to surf the web. In the world of coinage, the U.S. Mint was still minting millions of dimes to meet the needs of a growing economy, and the 1998 dime would be just one of many. But just like every coin produced in the United States, it carried with it a deep connection to the history and the values of the nation. The Roosevelt dime, which had been in circulation since 1946, was the coin in question. The Roosevelt dime was created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away in 1945. Roosevelt was a central figure in American history, particularly known for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. His legacy was one of resilience, reform, and leadership, and it was only fitting that his image be immortalized on the dime as a tribute to his enduring impact on the nation. The design of the Roosevelt dime is simple yet powerful. On the obverse, we find President Roosevelt's profile, facing left, captured in a dignified and respectful manner. The artist behind the design, John R. Sinek, used a portrait of Roosevelt to create a lifelike and recognizable image that has become one of the most iconic presidential portraits in U.S. coinage history. Around the edge of the coin, the words, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the year, 1998, are inscribed. The year is an important element here because it signifies a specific moment in history. 1998 was a time when Roosevelt's image was still widely recognized as a symbol of leadership and national unity. On the reverse side of the coin, there are three symbolic elements: a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. The torch represents liberty, the olive branch signifies peace, and the oak branch stands for strength. These elements reflect the core values that Roosevelt stood for during his presidency, and they serve as a reminder of the ideals that continue to shape the nation today. The design, though simple, is rich with meaning and purpose, and it encapsulates the values of freedom, unity, and strength that Roosevelt championed. The physical attributes of the 1998 dime are similar to those of many dimes minted in the years prior. The coin weighs 2.27 grams and has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters. It was minted using a combination of copper and nickel, with the alloy consisting of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. This combination of metals created a coin that was durable, lightweight, and affordable to produce. In terms of its composition, the 1998 dime was the same as its predecessors, continuing a long tradition of dime production that spanned decades. Now, let's dive into the minting process. The 1998 dime, like many others, was struck at the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint were typically unmarked, while those from the Denver Mint were marked with a small D mint mark. This allowed collectors and numismatists to track where each coin was produced. The minting process itself is a fascinating one. First, large metal blanks or planchets are created from rolls of metal. These planchets are then fed into the coining presses, where they are struck by dies with intricate designs to create the finished coins. The 1998 dimes would have gone through this process in the same way, with quality control mechanisms in place to ensure that they met the necessary standards. Despite its seemingly routine production, the 1998 dime holds special significance in the world of coin collecting for a number of reasons. As with any coin, collectors are drawn to specific years or editions because of their rarity, condition, or unique features. Some 1998 dimes are sought after due to their condition, as coins that have been well preserved are always in demand. A coin that has been well kept, with minimal wear or damage, is highly valued by collectors, as it represents the coin in its most pristine state. For the 1998 dime, coins in near-perfect or mint state condition are highly desirable, but what really sets the 1998 dime apart from other dimes minted during the 1990s is the possibility of finding certain varieties or errors. Over time, errors can occur during the minting process, leading to unique coins that stand out from the rest. For example, some 1998 dimes have been found with slight imperfections in their design, such as misaligned dies, double strikes, or other small anomalies that can make a coin more valuable. These types of error coins are incredibly sought after by collectors, as they are often one-of-a-kind or produced in very small quantities. In fact, some of the most valuable coins in the world are error coins, those that have been struck with unique flaws during the minting process. The 1998 dime is no exception, and as a result, error varieties from this year have become highly collectible. Whether it's a small design flaw or a more significant misstrike, these errors make the 1998 dime a more appealing target for numismatists looking to add something special to their collections. Aside from the appeal of error coins, there is also the general interest in coins from the late 20th century. Many collectors are particularly interested in coins from the years around the turn of the millennium, as they represent a unique point in American history and numismatics. Coins like the 1998 dimes serve as both a reflection of the time in which they were minted and as a symbol of the changing world that was unfolding in the late 1990s. For collectors, owning a piece of history is part of the appeal, and the 1998 dime provides a tangible connection to that time. Now, let's get to the most exciting part, the value of the 1998 dime. While the standard 1998 dime is worth its face value of 10 cents, some dimes from this year have been known to fetch far higher prices, especially if they are in pristine condition or if they feature rare errors. The 1998 dime's true value lies in the uniqueness of the specimen and the interest of collectors. While most 1998 dimes will remain worth a few cents, one particular 1998 dime, in near-perfect condition, was recently valued at an astonishing $105,000. That's right, $105,000 for a single dime. How can a coin that originally had a face value of just 10 cents end up being worth so much? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and the passion of collectors who are willing to pay a premium for coins with historical significance, unique features, or special characteristics. This 1998 dime, with its remarkable condition and collectible features, represents the pinnacle of what numismatics is all about: the value of history, rarity, and craftsmanship, all encapsulated in a simple piece of currency. So there you have it, the 1998 USA 1 dime coin. What may have started as just another routine piece of currency has, over time, become a rare and valuable collectible. Its design, history, and the possibilities of rare errors make it a treasure in the world of numismatics. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious viewer, the story of the 1998 dime reminds us that sometimes the smallest things can hold the greatest value. The 2005 USA 1 dime coin might seem, on the surface, to be just another standard piece of U.S. currency. After all, by the mid-2000s, the Roosevelt dime had been in circulation for nearly 6 decades. However, like many coins, there's far more to the 2005 dime than meets the eye. For coin collectors, enthusiasts, and historians, this small dime holds a wealth of stories, intriguing details, and fascinating significance. It's not just another dime from a bygone year, it's a coin with a history, a unique design, and a deep connection to both American society and numismatics. In this video, we'll take you on a journey to uncover everything there is to know about the 2005 dime, including the historical context in which it was minted, the design choices that make it stand out, the intricacies of its minting process, and its growing appeal among collectors. As we move through the coin's background, we'll also reveal a truly eye-popping fact about the 2005 dime's value today. Trust me, you won't want to miss the big reveal at the end of the video. Let's begin with the context surrounding the 2005 dime. The year 2005 was a pivotal one for the United States. On the political front, George W. Bush was in his second term as president, and the country was facing both significant challenges and opportunities. The aftermath of the September 11 attacks was still fresh in the American collective consciousness, and the country was engaged in ongoing conflicts in the Middle East. Domestically, the country was in the midst of an economic recovery, following the early 2000s recession, but the impact of these global events was still being felt throughout the nation. It was a time of change, but for most Americans, 2005 was defined by everyday life, the rise of digital media, the continued growth of technology, and the enduring popularity of movies, music, and entertainment. For coin collectors, however, it was another year in a long tradition of U.S. coinage, and one that would add to the ever-growing appeal of the Roosevelt dime. The Roosevelt dime, as many of you know, had been in circulation since 1946. Its creation came shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945. Roosevelt, having led the country through the Great Depression and World War II, left behind a legacy that was deeply ingrained in the American psyche. In honoring him, the U.S. Mint decided to feature his image on the dime. The coin's design was created by engraver John R. Sinek, who used a photograph of Roosevelt as the basis for the likeness. Roosevelt's portrait graces the obverse, front, of the coin, facing left. His dignified profile is surrounded by the words, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," with the year of minting, 2005, prominently featured on the coin. The portrait remains one of the most enduring representations of a U.S. president, and the Roosevelt dime is considered one of the most recognizable and widely circulated coins in American history. On the reverse, back, of the 2005 dime, we see a powerful symbolic design that remains unchanged since the coin's introduction. A torch, olive branch, and oak branch appear, representing liberty, peace, and strength, respectively. These elements of the reverse design are rich in meaning and stand as enduring symbols of the nation's values, but while the design itself remained unchanged, the 2005 dime is still significant for a number of reasons, especially when you take into account the larger context of U.S. coinage in that year. The mint had been facing a period of transition as it navigated the changes of the new millennium. The 2005 coin, like other dimes minted in that time, continued to be produced in large quantities to meet the demands of circulation. The 2005 dimes were struck using the same methods that had been used since the 1960s. They were composed of a clad metal, 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, making them durable enough to withstand the wear and tear of everyday transactions. The weight of each dime remained consistent at 2.27 grams, and its diameter stayed at 17.91 millimeters, just as it had for decades. These dimes were minted at both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint, as had been the practice for years. Dimes minted in Philadelphia would bear no mint mark, while those produced in Denver would feature the D mint mark. While the process was largely routine, the mint was continuously refining its techniques to ensure that each coin met the rigorous standards set by the United States Treasury. As a result, the 2005 dime was produced in large quantities to keep up with the circulation needs of the nation. For most people, the 2005 dime would have been no more than a small coin used for everyday purchases, a simple 10-cent piece that didn't demand much attention. However, for collectors, it's the details that matter, and for some, the 2005 dime is notable for its condition, its potential for error varieties, and its place in the broader history of U.S. coinage. As with many other coins, the 2005 dime is highly valued by collectors for its potential to be found in mint state or uncirculated condition. A coin that has been preserved without wear and tear from regular circulation is a prize for any collector. These coins are often referred to as mint state or MS coins, and the higher the grade of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. For the 2005 dime, those found in pristine, uncirculated condition are particularly desirable, but where the 2005 dime truly shines is in the world of error coins. The process of minting is a complex one, and errors can sometimes occur. These errors, whether they are caused by problems with the dies, misalignments, or other issues, can create unique coins that stand apart from the typical ones in circulation. Error coins, while rare, are highly sought after by collectors, and some of these errors can dramatically increase a coin's value. The 2005 dime is no exception to this rule. A number of 2005 dimes have been discovered with slight errors in the design or the minting process. These include things like double strikes, misaligned dies, or other minor imperfections. While these errors may seem small to the casual observer, to a collector, they represent something much more significant, a rare and unique piece of U.S. coinage. These error coins can fetch substantial amounts on the market, as they are considered valuable due to their rarity and the fascination they generate among collectors, but it's not just error coins that make the 2005 dime appealing to collectors. The coin is also part of a larger trend in U.S. coinage during the early 21st century. In 2005, coin collectors were still closely watching the minting processes, anticipating new designs and developments. And even though the design of the Roosevelt dime remained unchanged, the significance of this coin, both historically and as part of the ongoing legacy of U.S. coinage, was not lost on collectors. As we move closer to the most exciting part of our story, let's pause for a moment and reflect on just how far the 2005 dime has come. What was once a simple 10-cent piece in circulation has now become a collector's treasure. For most people, it would have been just another coin in their pocket. But for those in the know, the 2005 dime has taken on a deeper significance. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, the big reveal: how much is a 2005 dime worth today? Well, it's not just worth its face value of 10 cents, that's for sure. Depending on the condition, rarity, and potential error varieties, the 2005 dime has been known to fetch up to $95,000 at auction. Yes, that's right, $95,000 for a single dime. This extraordinary amount is a testament to the coin's rarity, its exceptional condition, and its appeal to collectors who understand the value of owning such a remarkable piece of history. This price tag might seem unbelievable for something as small and seemingly insignificant as a dime, but that's the magic of numismatics. Coins like the 2005 dime serve as tangible pieces of history, reflecting not just the year they were minted but also the legacy of the nation, the artistry behind their design, and the intricate processes that bring them into existence. So, there you have it, the story of the 2005 USA 1 dime coin. What started as a simple, everyday piece of currency has become a highly coveted collector's item, with a value that far exceeds its original intent. Whether it's a coin in mint condition, an error variety, or simply part of a larger collection of dimes from the Roosevelt series, the 2005 dime represents something much more than just 10 cents. It's a symbol of history, artistry, and the passion of those who appreciate the finer details of numismatics.